Okay, guys, so welcome to another session of Cloud Performance Engineering and DevOps. Okay, so today is the first day officially which we are going. So till now we have just started with the cloud concept, right? We just talked about what is cloud, right? And we just talked about the course, how we're gonna plan the course, and then some questions, right? That's fine. Okay, so I understand that not all of like you don't have the account created, so I'm assuming that like you are very much new to AWS. That's perfectly fine. So that will be the agenda for today, to make sure that by the end of the class or before you attend the class tomorrow, right, the session tomorrow, you all have the account created. So we'll do that. So from today we're going to talk about AWS. That's the first thing we're going to talk about it. Okay, just give me a minute, guys, just 1 minute. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, so guys, sorry about that. Okay, so today we're gonna start with the cloud computing, and by the end of today, what the expectation is that we all will be having the AWS account, right? Well, that's the first question I asked today. That how many of you have the account created, right? So we'll do that. Okay. So just to get started on that AWS journey, right? So can anyone help me with the cloud definition? What is your understanding of cloud, guys? You can unmute yourself or you can write in the chat option. What is your understanding of cloud? I just want to know from you. Before I delve into any of the topics, I just want to know what is your understanding of cloud. Whatever you have, your understanding, do let me know so that I can take it forward from there. Yeah. Anyone? Virtual servers, Sonal? Okay, good. Okay. How about others? So Sonal has answered virtual servers. Okay.
Cloud represents the infrastructure where we can use on a rent basis.
Rent basis. Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, I think yes. I have spoken about this perfectly. Good, Trisha. Absolutely right. Yeah. Anyone else want to add on that?
It can be infrastructure or service or software where the maintenance part would be from that company. We need not to worry about the maintenance part. We just have to pay the cost for that services and use it.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Okay. See, coming to the definition of that, right? See, we're talking about cloud, right? Before that, let's understand what is on-premise, right? So we have two things, right? On-premise and cloud. So what is the core difference between on-premise and cloud? Is that in on-premise we own the servers, we own everything, right? So when I say on-premise, imagine a building and infrastructure, okay, and infrastructure which I'm showing you in this particular slide. Imagine an infrastructure, a building, a land, full land, right? You have to acquire the land first of all, purchase the land somewhere in the outskirt of a city, right? And we have all these buildings there, right? You have constructed all the buildings, and then you have put all these servers, and you have purchased all these servers, right? You have purchased, you own every bit of it because you have set it up, right? That's about your data center. Any typical data center looks like this, okay? So when you say on premise, so basically and cloud, what is the basic difference here? The difference is same. Even on premise has this data center, and cloud, when I say cloud, like AWS, or see AWS, Azure, or GCP, they are the three primarily cloud service providers, right, in the market. They also have these data centers, their own data center. They have set it up, right? And let's say if I'm the company, if I today I decide to set up my own data center, so I have to invest a lot of money, purchase everything, all the servers. A lot of things would be there. I have to need to have the redundant power supply because my servers cannot lose the power. They always need to have the consistent 24 by 7 power thing, power backups, redundant network switches, right? Internet service providers, everything is redundant, right? Because I cannot lose the connectivity, cannot lose the power. Everything needs to be there, right? Everything has to be always up and running. So it's a lot of huge investment. So it's an on-premise setup. If I own this, it becomes on-premise. But if someone else has set it up, and if I'm going asking them, boss, can I take few of your servers? Can I just use it for my rent? I will pay you for like a monthly rent or yearly. We can discuss about a pricing model. Let's come to the pricing model later. But I don't own it, right? So when I take servers in the cloud, 10 servers or 20 or 100 servers, right? If I complete rack or whatever servers, I don't own it. Okay, I'm getting a background feed. Does anyone have any question? Okay, I request everyone to be on mute. Thank you. See, the only difference is that, so in the on-premise, I own everything, but in the cloud, I don't own anything. I simply go and rent it, rent the servers, rent the storage services, rent the databases, whatever. I'll talk about different services and what all we have at our disposal, right? So that's the only difference between on-premise and cloud. That nothing else. On the infrastructure part, it all same. It all depends on who owns it and who is renting it out and who is renting, right? It all depends on that. Very simple, right? So coming to the definition part of it. So this is what the data center look like. So coming to the definition part of it, what is cloud? So basically, this is the entire data setup. Let's say this is the on-premise setup. You have done it. You own the data center, networking, storage, servers, virtualization, operating system, databases, security, applications. You own everything, right? In the on-premise. This is what you do, or you own everything. But when you get to access the same thing over the internet, that becomes a cloud for you. So to simply put the definition of the cloud, the use of hardware and software over the internet, the use of all these components, whether it could be hardware or software, over the internet is cloud. That's what the cloud definition is, right? So before cloud computing, what was the scenario? Customers owning all the hardware and other components in the data centers to run applications or programs. This is what the situation before the cloud. But the cloud computing allows people access to the same kinds of applications through the internet. Same kinds of applications through the internet. This is the definition, right? And why do we need cloud computing, guys? Why? What is the use of it? Obviously, the first thing is the cost, right? Cost reduction, efficiency, the first thing, right? Efficiency, cost reduction is the first thing, right? Scalability, right? Today I need 10 servers, right? Tomorrow I need 20 servers. I can get it. It's just the way of few clicks of the button and I can get the servers. I don't have to again in on-premise. What is the situation? I have to purchase all those servers. I have to set it up. Then only I can use it. And let's say tomorrow, today I need 20 servers, and tomorrow if I don't need 20 servers, I have already made the purchase. Either I use it or don't, it's gonna cost me, right? But in the cloud, it's not like that. If I'm using 10 servers today and 20 servers tomorrow, I'm gonna only pay for the additional 10 servers. And let's say from 20 servers, I go back to 5 servers. I will be only paying for the 5 servers. Okay, Trisha, I don't know what is this ping is all about. When I was about to say no, I
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay. Okay. So, and we use cloud computing for disaster recovery, right? We can use it, we can store all our data, all our backup in the cloud, right? We can have our setup in the on-premise and we can use cloud as a DR as well. Data secure in the cloud, data is secure, right? Every component is secure, data is secure. We have all the services to secure our data, right? Automatic software updates are there in the cloud. So a lot of things are there, right? So coming to the definition part of it, as I have already told you, so the use of software and hardware over the internet, right? The use of hardware and software delivered via network is that cloud computing is. That's what. Everything is happening through remotely, right? Everything is happening through remotely. Everything. The servers are somewhere else, and they have given this beautiful console which I was talking about, AWS account, right? So once you have the AWS account created, right, you can, I'm going to show you, just I'm going to give you a glimpse of that, right? So once you have the AWS account created, let me just show you. Look at this. This is called AWS Management Console. This is AWS Management Console, right? And I can get anything. I can today, if I need servers, they have, AWS has given this beautiful console, and this is what I was talking about. To have this account created, and everyone is expected to have this account created, right? It's a very simple process. I'm gonna walk you over that simple process. It just takes 10 to 15 minutes to account created, right? And once you have the AWS account created, you can, they have regions, right? They have regions, data centers across the globe, right? They have it. You can go, you can select anything. You can select Mumbai, you can select Singapore, you can get the servers, you can get the storage services, whatever you need, you can get it, right? You can get it just with the click of the button. So the access of the use of hardware and software over the internet is called cloud, right? This is what the definition is, and this is called AWS Management Console. That's the console, and that's the account I was talking about, account created, right? So, and they have global presence. If I talk about the global presence, right? So look at this, AWS global presence, global infrastructure. Look at this, where are they are located, right? They have 26 in the they have in the 26 launch regions. So when I say regions, they have the presence is in the global 26 launch regions, and you consider the availability zones as data centers, right? So they have 84 data centers across the globe. They serve 20 to 45 countries and territories served. This is what their global presence looks like, right? And you can see this all these 26 launch regions here, right here. You can, once you log into the console, you can see everything here, all the regions that you can see it here. US East, US East, US West, West Oregon, Africa, Asia Pacific, Asia Pacific. You can just look at this, everything. It's all here. 26 launched regions. I'll come to that. What is regions? What is availability zones? First thing, I would ask everyone to get the account created, right? If you go to Google, simple, type AWS. Let me log in as the, guys, you can follow with me, right? And you can just type AWS account, free account. You can just type AWS free account creation. You can just talk, you can just type anything in the Google. You will be getting a page link. You can just go to this page, right? And you can sign up. It's like how you sign up to your Gmail, your any social website, social networking websites. Just sign it. Create an AWS account, right? And that's what you can write your email address, your account name, and just you can give any your Gmail address would work, your Yahoo email would work, right? You can have a 13 digit some number account name you can give here. You can just verify. I can just, if I put the same email ID, they will tell that I have already have the account created, right? So that's most likely they will. So they will simply say verify email address. So look at this. So this is going to, I'm going to check my email, verification code. I'll verify, right? I can go to the next step, whatever. Like just follow along. It's very simple to get the account created. Nothing much has. And after providing details, they may ask you to provide some credentials, like credit card details. You will have to just, they're gonna, okay, so AWS account already exists, so that's why they are already telling me that this account already exists, so they have not given me OTP. So you will get the OTP here or whatever, some password. Once you go and password verification code, will verify this, you'll give your first name, last name, and you would get the one step where you'll have to provide the credit card details. They will not detect any rupee, just 2 rupees, just for the verification that you are not a robot, right? Because they do offer some free tier. They offer some free tier, right? For 1 year. So if you go to this particular link, that's where this they offer this free tier, right? And you they get a lot of freebies for 1 year. You can literally learn for free. They have given this, so you can just see this 12 months of free, right? And if you look at the, I'll talk about different services, what all different free options are. We'll talk about that slowly, right? So get the account created, guys. If you are really want to learn AWS, that's the first thing you should do. Get the account created, right? Just follow along the sessions, the all those options which you'll be getting as part of the sign up, right? Else I'd have shown you. I don't have the, right. So just follow along. It's very simple. Nothing. It will not take hardly 10 minutes, right? And I can vouch for it that they will not detect misuse your credit card details. They will not. They are reputed firm. So I can vouch for that. I have done it multiple times. They have not done any. It's all safe, right? So yeah, you can trust them. So please get the account created, guys. Are you doing it today or right now, or will you be doing it like after this session, guys? Are you doing it right now?
Yeah, doing it.
Okay, okay, Meghna, do it. Yeah, I can give you 5 minutes. That's fine. Completed creating a DevOps account. Perfect. See how it just took 5 minutes for Meghna. So Meghna has completed the account creation, guys. So I hope you guys can do it in another 2 minutes. I'm gonna give another 2 minutes, okay? Till 9:33, I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna start the session. Okay. So I'm just giving them again just 2 minutes, 2 more minutes. Meghna, so you able to log in to you got the home console home?
Yes, I got an email. I'm just following up to go to that console, management console.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, guys. Um, Credit card, yes, you will have to provide that, right? So that this is just to make sure that you are not a bot, right? No, you're not a robot. You are a genuine person, right? That's what they're gonna verify. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna continue. So I hope you would get the account created, right? So I'll check with you tomorrow on that. Okay, coming. So please, guys, focus here. So I just talked about the data center, right? This is what we call a data center. This is what a data center would look like. Either it is on-premise or it is some cloud service provider like AWS has set it up. This is what it looks like. And a building, an infrastructure full of servers, storage servers, disks, full of racks. Imagine just a building full of servers. This is what a data center would look like, and your application is deployed here basically, right? And you have all the cooling mechanism, everything in place, right? This is what a data center would look like. And when you set it up, you own all these components here in the data center, and this is the cloud benefits I was talking about. So coming to the definition part of it, so I just mentioned you, so you get, so AWS or every cloud service provider, what they have done, they have provisioned on-demand self-service, which I showed you some time back. Thank you. Good to know, Trisha. Yeah, good. Okay, so I was talking about that AWS has given this management console, right? And that why they have given you console, because you don't have to call AWS call centers and ask for servers, right? They have given this on-demand self-service console for you to go and log in and do whatever you need to do, right? They have given you the full control, so you can get the servers, you can configure it, right? That's why we are learning, right? We are about to learn how we are going to use it, right? That's what we're going to do. We're gonna understand how we are going to use the this management console, right? They have given this console, and this is what we're going to learn, right? So coming to the definition part of it, right? So when I say cloud, see, always remember there is one concept called virtualization. Right? If you have attended my few demos, right? If you have attended my few like workshops or first two sessions, can you tell me what is the main goal of virtualization? Can anyone tell me? Or anyone doesn't understand what is virtualization? Do let me know. Guys. Or what is the, if you have understood the virtualization, what is the main goal of virtualization? I want everyone to make a note of that. Right? Either you can put in the chat or you can unmute and speak. Right. So do let me know, guys. What is your take of virtualization? What do you think of virtualization? Why we do virtualization? If you have not understood virtualization, do let me know. Okay, so Sonal has answered, avoid high maintenance cost of on-premise servers. No, virtualization is a total thing. That's about the cloud, Sonal, you are talking about. I'm talking about virtualization. This is what I'm talking about. Right now, I'm talking about what is virtualization. What is the main use of virtualization? You guys understand this word virtualization or no? Okay, okay, okay. Let me talk about it. Do install OS enables perfect, Trisha. This is what I was looking for. These two words, resource utilization. These two words explains that you understand things, right? Resource utilization. This is the two words, right? Very important two words. Why we do virtualization? Because let's say when the software development started, right? The software development and deployment started, what how we used to do, let's say this is the physical server, big rack which you are seeing in the data center, right, is one of the racks, let's say that. And let's say this rack, we all are performance engineers here, right? So this rack has some capacity, right, some cores. Let's say I'm just giving you one number, okay? Let's say 1000 core CPU cores, vCPUs I'm calling it, and I have, let's say, 1000 GB RAM. Let's say that the capacity of this. Earlier, back then, 1980s, right, when the software development and deployment started, right, what we used to do, we used to install a tiny little application, few KBs or MBs application in this big physical server. That's all. That's all we did. What is the wrong? What is the problem with this? I'm able to install whatever I want. What is the main problem with this kind of a setup? What do you think, guys? What are we missing here? What are we losing here? What do you think? Anyone?
We are wasting a lot of storage space here.
Not storage, compute, for example, right? Compute I'm talking about. Compute power, right? Disk could be in another VM, right? It is RAM I'm talking about. So there could be one more disk, one more like virtual, like physical server for the disk, right? And I am doing the same thing I wasted here as for the disk also. This is compute. Compute means cores and RAM, right? And disk, when I say, I mean about the disk, right? The storage disk. So I'm wasting a lot of resources here back then. This is what we did. Then what happened around 2000, 1990s or early 2000, what I say, virtualization came into picture. Virtualization. Virtualization. What we did, we virtualized the big physical server. And what we did, we created the VMs out of it. We virtualized the big physical server and we created the VMs out of it. So what I mean by that is this. Let's just imagine this. Virtualization can be at the compute level, right? This is at the compute level, right? So remember, this is at the compute level. Compute means vCPUs and RAM, right? Always remember that part. Disk. So virtualization happened, and let's say I installed some virtualization software. I installed that. I installed some virtualization software. Once I installed the virtualization software, what happened? I was able to create VMs, multiple VMs from this. I broke this big physical server into 100 VMs. I split this because this is what virtualization did. I was able to create VMs, multiple VMs, right? And then I was able to install separate application in these VMs. VM1, we installed one application. VM2, we install another application, right? This is what we did. So we were able to install multiple applications after when we install virtualization. So guys, you guys must be working in the VMs, right? I hope, correct? And either it is on-premise, but still you guys are working on the VM, right? Three-tier application, web server, app server, database server, you guys are mostly working on. And this is what, once you have the virtualized software installed, then only you can create VMs, right? And when you go to AWS and ask for VM, they have already virtualized the physical server. They've already done that virtualization. A lot of virtualization software out there in the market. They have used VMware is the leader in that space. They have used VMware, some virtualization software, and once they have already done that part in the big physical racks, and then I can go and create some VMs. So this is called the virtualization. And what is the benefit you see here, guys? This process of creating VMs is called virtualization. What is the benefit of this? What do you think is the most thing that we are achieving here? What are we achieving here? What is the main goal of virtualization? What do you think? What are we achieving here?
In single hardware, there are many virtual space created.
Right. I'm able to efficiently utilize the resource. This is what I'm doing, right? Efficient utilization of the resource. See, in the cloud as a performance engineer, keeping the performance up to like as per the expected is SLA is perfectly right. But meeting the cost is also the role of a performance engineer. Meeting the cost. And when I talk about the cloud, cost optimization is one of the very important topic for a performance engineer if you're working in cloud. Remember that. So what are we achieving here? We are achieving efficient utilization of the resource. This is what we are doing. And back in 1980s, where I was able to just deploy one application, here if I create multiple VMs, I can create multiple applications. In one VM, I can have web server. In another VM, I can have app server. In another VM, I can have database server. This could be one application. I have thousands of VMs. I can host multiple applications in one physical server itself. Right? I'm able to efficiently utilize the resource. In the cloud, this is what our main intention would be, to efficiently utilization of the resource, right? And when you talk about this virtualization, right, and include that with automation. Right? Everything is automated in cloud. I showed you some days back, right? Few days back, last week, that in the database world, they have automated the entire process. The installation part is no more a work now. Just select the options and click on create database. It will create a database for you. You can configure the servers you want. You can go to the EC2. I showed you the last week, right? You go to the EC2 and you can configure whatever you need, the way you need. You can configure your virtual machine. You can select your operating system. You can customize your VM. What are these things? These are nothing but the automation. They have automated the entire process to make our life easier. The automation is the, if you want to look at the automation, right, look at these cloud service providers, what they have done. They have automated everything. Without automation, it is not possible to configure your VM with the click of a button, right? In on-premise, you have to bring up some ISO image to install some operating system. But here it's just about the click of the option. I can just click on instances. I can click on launch instances. I can configure. I can just run through all these steps here, 7 steps, and I can configure my VM. This is what automation, right? With a click of a button, I can select any operating system. They have everything. If I select this operating system would get installed in my VM. Nothing but the automation. When you select this, a job runs in the background. They install the application, this operating system on your VM. Right? Everything is automated. So when I say the cloud definition, it's all about virtualization and automation. That's about the cloud. The use of hardware and software over the internet is called the cloud. Or if I have to put simply, right, the definition of the cloud computing is computing based on the internet. That's what it is. This is the simplest definition you will get. Simplest definition you will get. On-demand self-service. You have on-demand self-service, right? This is what on-demand self-service. This management console is what you have on-demand self-service. You have the self-service. You can configure whatever you need. Rapid elasticity. If you today if for to support your workload you need 10 servers, tomorrow or just in 1 hour, let's say there's a peak business hour coming, you have some, let's say you have some retail application and some big peak business hours is coming, and you just need to scale up 10 more servers in 1 hour. Just get it done in just few clicks. Rapid elasticity. And after 1 hour you don't need it, just give it back. You will be only charged for the 1 hour that you have used. Rapid elasticity. Measure service. They're going to measure everything that you're going to use. You'll be billed only for what you're using it. They have the broad network access. You can configure, let's say if you're setting up one application, your user base is in Canada, right? Let's say that, or in Australia. You can configure the servers in Australia or in Canada. No need to configure server from where you're living. You can understand where is your user base and you can configure your server there based on the user base, right? You can configure, you can provision your server, you can deploy your application there so they get the best performance. Latency would be less, right? Resource pooling. They have one data center, but many people can go and provision the infrastructure. Not like only one person can do it. The providers' computing resources are pooled to serve multiple consumers using a multi-tenant model. They have a multi-tenant model as well, with different resources dynamically assigned and reassigned according to the demand. They have this resource pooling concept also, multi-tenant concept. right? So all these features led to what is the cloud computing. Any confusion, any question on the cloud computing, guys? Like, are we in line with the definition part? This is what we have covered till now. The definition. I made you realize what is cloud, what all different features you have, how it is different from on-premise. Are we okay till this point of time? Please acknowledge everyone. Yes, no. If you have any question, do let me know. Guys, please acknowledge. If you could acknowledge, I can proceed. Guys, please quick to be.
Roshan,
Yeah.
I have a doubt here.
Yeah, tell me.
Cloud virtualization automation, that I am fine. But when it comes to the term cloud computing, in my mind, it comes like we are doing something using this particular service.
Yeah, you're using it, right? Cloud computing is what? Computing. You're doing the computation work on the servers, right? Why you have provisioned the servers? You're doing some computation. Something is running on the servers, right? So cloud compute. You are doing
Okay.
some processing, right? Either you
Okay.
call
Okay.
it
Yeah,
cloud or
clear.
cloud computing, just the same thing.
Okay. 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 Yeah, clear now, Roshan. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Good to know, guys. Okay, yeah. Please quick to be respond. Thank you for those who responded. Okay, I'm gonna proceed. So that's about the definition of cloud computing. So now coming to there are how you're gonna use cloud computing. There are three options when you go and ask for cloud computing. Right? There are three options you get. Either you can use cloud as infrastructure as a service or platform as a service or software as a service. There are three options you get. Right. On the left side, you have on-premise. On the leftmost side, you have the on-premise setup. What do you see with the on-premise setup, guys? You own everything. The blue blocks that you see on the leftmost part is what the customer owns it. So in the on-premise, since you are setting it up, everything, right? You basically own every component: data center, networking, storage, servers, virtualization. You have to do. The user who is setting up the data center, they have to do the virtualization. They have to purchase the server. They have to purchase the storage servers. They have to manage the networking. They have to build the infrastructure. They have to install the operating system, databases, security, and then on top of that, they can build their application, run their application. This is what the on-premise, right? You have the full control because you are setting up. In the cloud, right? You use cloud as an infrastructure service, platform as service, and software service, right? What is the difference? In the platform as service, in the infrastructure as service, when I approach cloud, then I'm thinking I'm going to use cloud, I'm going to use AWS, leverage AWS for infrastructure service. So what does that mean? That means that the data centers, networking, storage, and servers and virtualization, till this point of time, till these components will be managed by the cloud service provider. These will be managed by the cloud service provider. As a user, I don't have any say in this because I don't want actually. I want them to give me till virtualization because I don't want to set up a data center. Obviously, I don't want networking. I want them to take care. Storage, I don't want to purchase any storage services and servers, right? I want them to purchase. I don't want to install the virtualization. As a user, I'm customer, I'm talking about. I want these things to be maintained by the cloud service provider. But I need all the other control. I get to select the operating system. As a user, I'm going to build my application. I should be in a control. I should be in a position to select the operating system which I want to use, what databases I will use, like because I want to control over the data, right? So I get the control over the data as well. I get to configure the security. I'm gonna configure the security. right? The security, because I don't want to rely on the cloud service provider because I don't trust them enough. Because it's my application, my data, my customer sensitive data. I want to protect it. But I'm going to use their service, what they have at their disposal, because the cloud service provider have some services to protect my data, right? I'm going to use them, but I'm going to configure it. I get the control over them. I don't want to rely on them to secure my data. Then on top of that, I'm going to deploy my application, run my application. I will write the code. I will deploy my application. So as a user in the infrastructure as a service, I get the control over these things. Wow, that's good. So one of the primary example would be EC2. The service name is EC2, right? EC2 is the service name. I can fit here because when I provision EC2, I do get the control over the operating system, right? Databases, I can again on the EC2, I can install databases. I can have my data. I can have the disk. I can have my data. I can secure my EC2 instance. I have the control over that. I can deploy my application, run my code. So EC2 is one of the example of infrastructure service. Then second comes the in the service model. Second is the platform as a service. So my expectation is that I have the code with me. I have the code and data with me. Just imagine a data also. Okay, with this data also consider data. So I have the code with me, right? I have written a code in Java. Let's say that I have a jar file or war file, right? I have the data, whatever I require, right? Let's say I have and I need MySQL database. But I have the data with me. I don't want to manage the servers, number of servers. I don't want to deal with all these things. I just want to deploy my code. I just want to deploy my code. So for those kind of requirement, because it is my choice, right? I am going with the cloud, and I'm asking them, right? Boss, I don't want to manage operating system, what databases you provide me, right? I have data with me. I just need a database. You provide me all these things, runtime environment. You provide all the details. You provide all the underlying things, runtime also. I have the code. I'm going to simply deploy my code, and the application should run for these many users. You give me enough servers. The AWS has a service called Beanstalk. Beanstalk is the perfect example of platform as service where they provide this option, right? If I go to Beanstalk, Beanstalk is one of the service, right? Elastic Beanstalk, where I can just upload my code and I can rely on AWS to run my workload. I'm just going to give you one brief gist of that Beanstalk, what it looks like. I can click on create application. I can write the application name, whatever name I have, app demo, let's say that. And if I have the code with me, I can choose the platform. Let's say I have written a code in Java, right? I need to install the Java on the Tomcat server. Let's say that I selected the Tomcat server. Or let's say if I have written a code in Python, I selected the Python runtime environment. I uploaded the code. Like I have the zip file, I uploaded the code, right? Or if I have a jar file, war file, I will simply select the runtime environment here at the Tomcat server. They will configure it. I don't have to install Tomcat and all. I will simply upload my code. Local file, I will upload my jar file, war file. They will provision enough infrastructure and they will make sure I can get to configure auto scaling and all. But as a user, I just want to upload my code. This is one of the example of platform as service. You would have seen many websites, right? Online code editor, right? They provide, right? You can run your code, right? you have a lot of online code editors, right? You can simply go there, go to any, they provide the runtime environment. Once you have the Java code, let's say I have this Java code, they provide the runtime environment to execute this. And I can get the whatever the output is, right? X, Y is equal to Z. Z would be 35. I can see 35. I can write my code and I can get it executed. So this could be one of the examples of platform as a service. Right? But in the cloud, Beanstalk would be the perfect example of platform as a service. Guys, are you with me on this till this point of time? Able to follow? Yes? Perfect. In the software service, I don't have the control over anything. As a user, I don't have the control over it. I don't want to have the control. I'm just asking cloud service provider to give me service. The service like Gmail, the service like YouTube, the service like Facebook, the service like Google Slides. What are those services? You know, what are those services comes under? Which bracket they comes under? You know, any guesses? They come under software service. I don't know where the servers are deployed, what operating system they have deployed. I don't know what is the runtime environment, what databases they are using. I am not bothered. As a user, I'm going to simply enjoy, I'm going to use that service as a software service. That is the software service. Everything is deployed on the cloud front. Don't you think that YouTube that you're using is whatever the servers you are watching so many content, all these things are deployed somewhere. In Google Cloud, they have deployed somewhere. In Facebook, so many user profiles, so many records, so many content, where they are deployed on the servers. They have on-premise setup, and that they're providing SaaS software service. Your Google Slides, your Gmail, what are those things? Software service. The servers are there somewhere. Your data, Gmail data, or Gmail, all those mail, all the details are there somewhere. But as a user, I don't have the control over those things. I'm not deploying the code. I don't have the control over any of this. I'm just using that as a service. This is called software service. Software as a service. SaaS. Any questions till this point of time, guys? And we're gonna take a stop here. I'm gonna continue. Right. So you all have the AWS account created. That's good. I'm gonna continue from here.
Yes, I have a question. Are they speaking?
Sure, Ed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my question is on the Beanstalk. Are you going to show us a practical example of how Beanstalk is used for managing applications?
Sure. I'm going to show you. Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you. And my second question is about the account, Amazon account. I have the account before, but it's like over a year. Would I still be able to use the same account?
You will be still.
Or do I need to create a new one?
So you can still use it, right? But you may not be able to use it for free, right? Because the free tier is for the 12 months, right? So as you said, it is 1 year already over, right? So you can create a new account if you don't want to pay any bills to AWS. You can create a new account. You create an email ID, new email address, and you can create a new account.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Any other question? Okay, guys. So I always take the silence in a positive note that you guys are all good. So thank you, everyone. If you do not have question, thank you for the joining. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.